Sure. So we can talk about two things. First, we discussed that new IP, right? The ability to work inside of the new era where things are changing so much, whether it's cloud or social media, things like that. And we'll reference your grandson's phone, right? When you look at a phone, and I've used this analogy before, it's how do you buy it? How simple is it to use? How well does it work with other things, and then what happens when you drop it, right? The same thing applies to an infrastructure vendor as ourselves. How do you buy it? We talked about this network subscription model. We got to give people the ability to use different types of funding to solve their problems, right? Those operational monies to solve capital expenditures, right? And I think that's something you're going to see going forward. The other piece of, when you look at the phone analogy, it's, okay, well, how to use it? You got to make sure that you're providing people that need the services a plug-and-play mentality, right? When I go and I want a drink of water from my kitchen, I turn the faucet and I get some water. I really don't care what the plumbing looks like under the house. I just want the water. And the same thing has to happen from the network side. You want to be able to just use the network in that particular manner. It's simple when we start talking about things like Ethernet fabrics and those type of technologies where you just drop them in, and they provide the service that you expect with minimal touch, zero-touch provisioning. The other piece of that was, how well does it work with others? And we start talking about open pieces, right? We want to get to the point where the network almost has applications behind it, and software-defined networking will drive that, right? You'll be allowed to say, I need a new routing service, or I need this or that, and you just kind of push a button, and poof, it pops on your network, and you have it, and you're able to use it. And then it has the feedback mechanisms to do the self-healing that everybody expects. And then the last piece is, for God's sakes, if you drop your phone, what do you do? Right? I can give you all the greatest things, but if there is a problem, and there will be, right, that we're all well in a practical world, you got to have the services and support behind it. And it's not just from a networking perspective, because everything ties together. You got to have services and support that the whole IT infrastructure is responsible for. And that's where the managed services pieces come in. You want to be able to have one phone call that has somebody that can see everything inside that environment from the whole IT perspective, which is, I think, what the CIOs are looking for.
Excellent.